show your dunk for a chance to win.
Since first bursting onto the market way back in 1912, Nabisco has found a ton of success in the creation of Oreos. But when your history is as long as Oreos is, there's bound to be more than a few secrets kept from consumers.
Oreos. Man, I love this.
That shouldn't be too shocking. After all, you don't get so incredibly popular without having some secrets. You may be amused, surprised, or taken aback by what you're about to learn. These are just 10 of the untold truths of Oreos that you may not have already known about.
Maybe it's the Oreos.
I don't eat Oreos.
Pigs absolutely hate Oreos.
Are you talking to me?
Pigs are notorious for being omnivores. This means that they'll eat just about anything that's put in front of them. Meat, cheese, produce, their owner's leftovers from last night's dinner. The list is almost endless. Well, almost. There are still some foods that even a pig won't eat. Clearly, they have standards when it comes to what they're willing to consume. Surprisingly to some, Oreos are among the few food items that pigs will turn their nose up to. This peculiar discovery came about back in 1985 by Ben & Jerry's. Unwittingly, too. Back in the mid-1980s, the popular ice cream company gave their product waste away to a pig farmer near their facilities. The farmer revealed that his pigs liked most flavors, save for one: mint with Oreo cookies. That was the lone flavor rejected by his pigs. This fact came from the 1998 book Ben & Jerry's Double Dip: How to Run a Values-Led Business and Make Money Too, which was written by Ben & Jerry themselves. This is definitely not a fact that many would have expected to learn.
That was awesome.
Between the unusual source connected to Ben & Jerry's and the fact that it's pigs turning down Oreos, it's certainly a weird fact. But it's clear that Oreos just aren't something that pigs enjoy eating, and that's completely okay.
Hey, call me Mr. Pig!
No one knows how the name came to be.
Say my name.
Like a lot of companies, Oreos has tweaked its name many times over the years. There were plenty that they went through: Oreo Biscuits, Oreo Sandwich, Oreo Creme Sandwich, and finally, Oreo Chocolate Sandwich Cookie.
There can be only one.
These days, however, the cream-filled wafer cookies are simply known as Oreos. So it's clear both then and now that Oreos as a name has managed to endure the test of time for over a century. But just how did the Oreos name originally come about? That question is one that no one has ever been able to answer since Nabisco invented the tasty cookie which bears the Oreos name. A Time article released close to the company's 100-year anniversary tried to determine the name's origin.
You all know exactly who I am.
But the search came up empty. One popular theory is that it comes from the French word or, which translates to gold. The correlation comes from another little-known fact: the original packaging for Oreos came in the color gold. Another guess is that it was named after the Greek word for mountain because the test version of these cookies were shaped like a hill. No one close to Oreos, or Nabisco for that matter, has ever come out to reveal just how the name came to be. So it's pretty clear that the rumors and theories of how the name came to be will simply continue to fly left, right, and center. It seems as though the truth will never come to light.
Not hungry?
Oreos are sold all around the world.
So, you're interested in the only Oreos in 100 trillion miles?
This specific fact may not be seen as surprising, considering just how popular Oreos are. Some people may have the mistaken notion that Oreos are a sweet treat that are only wildly popular in the Western world, but that actually couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is that Oreos are available for purchase in well over 100 countries. You heard that right, over 100 countries sell Oreos. Of course, that means that there's far too many countries who sell Oreos to attempt to list them all.
I'm going in.
But something that may pique your interest is how, depending on which country you're looking for Oreos in, certain exclusive flavors will be available in just that one country. For example, Argentina carries dulce de leche Oreos, China has both orange mango and raspberry blueberry, Indonesia sells blueberry ice cream flavored Oreos, and Japan carries Oreos with a green tea ice cream flavor. Granted, that is a very small list of exclusive flavors for only a handful of countries that sell Oreos. But just glancing over the aforementioned list only goes to show that certain flavors are in demand in certain countries. Maybe one day, some of them will make their way over to North America.
I'm sorry, Jude, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
There's an exact ratio of cookies to cream in Oreos.
I've always preferred the cream part of an Oreo. That's crazy. The cookie's the best part.
Considering the kind of cookie that Oreos are, there's bound to be one question to be in the minds of those who consume them. Is there the right amount of cream between the wafers? After all, mistakes happen, or Oreos could just be lying right to our faces.
I'm calling the cops.
While this is obviously a minor concern for most, others may look at it more seriously. It may make you want to know what exactly the truth is on the matter. Well, the truth is that, for the most part, Oreos are comprised of 71% cookie to 29% cream. The ratio is so specific that it will most likely put your mind at ease as to how Oreos are being manufactured. The only exceptions to this rule are double stuff Oreos, mega stuff Oreos, mini Oreos, and Oreo Thins. Depending on which kind you're looking at, the ratio will include either more cookie than cream or more cream than cookie. The main point, however, is that the ratio of cookie to cream in regular Oreos is quite specific. There's no doubt that it's intentionally done to make sure that each cookie comes out looking just right.
It's 3 for cream, 2 for cookie. Next time on Oreos.
A song about Oreos.
Every dunk is one to fill, so bring your milk and cookie skills.
Due to both their longevity and popularity, Oreos have managed to become something of a pop culture icon. They're often referenced in many fictional worlds, from books to movies to TV shows, because they're so easily recognizable. With this in mind, it should really come as no surprise to anyone that there's a song out there that's all about Oreos. The song in question came from the mind of comedic singer Weird Al Yankovic. Back in 1992, Yankovic released the album Off the Deep End to a fair amount of critical and commercial success. On this album was the song The White Stuff, a parody of the song The Right Stuff by 90s pop boy band New Kids on the Block. The song is basically an excuse for Yankovic to rave all about Oreos and how much he loves them. While it was never released as an official single for Off the Deep End, it surely found many admirers in its own right. A song professing your love for Oreos is definitely a strange song when you think about it. But the fact that it was a parody of a song from a boy band during the peak of their popularity means that it makes much more sense. Leave it to Weird Al to make such a concept work.
You start acting silly, and you don't get your cookie at the end of the show.
Oreos are technically vegan.
Didn't you know? Todd's vegan.
If you're a vegan, or are someone who's thinking about going vegan, you might believe that Oreos are or will become off-limits in your diet. But amazingly, that's not true whatsoever. The nonprofit organization PETA tweeted out the fact that Oreos are indeed vegan. They also included a list of other vegan snacks, but the former fact was what stood out to people the most. The main thought was simple: how could Oreos be vegan?
Freeze! Vegan police! Vegan police!
The ingredient list is surprisingly vegan-friendly, although the inclusion of palm oil may raise the ire of some.
The place is littered with
Many argue that palm plantations bring about harm to animals. However, it's not something that's outright banned when it comes to veganism. So technically, Oreos are a vegan food item. But if you were to ask Nabisco, Oreos aren't vegan after all. That's due to the claim that milk can come in via cross-contamination. Because of this, Oreos cannot be quality controlled for traces of milk. For some, that makes Oreos a non-vegan snack. But if you're not strictly vegan, or you just don't care about cross-contamination, then you're more than welcome to think of Oreos as vegan after all.
Oh, guess again, Tubby.
How you eat Oreos says a lot about your personality.
Not Slytherin, eh? Are you sure?
According to one study from 2004, there are many different ways to eat Oreos. Some people dunk their Oreos in milk before eating them, others will lick the cream off before devouring the cookie, and there are also people who shove the entire cookie into their mouth, cream and all. Nabisco has never revealed how you're supposed to exactly eat an Oreo cookie. That's resulted in more than one way for people to eat them because there's no right or wrong way to do so. But did you know that how you eat your Oreos says quite a bit about your personality?
Way you break them open, you're...
For example, if you're someone who dunks their Oreos in milk before eating them, you're thought to be an adventurous, energetic, and social individual. If you prefer twisting the cookies apart to lick the cream off, you're most likely artistic, emotional, sensitive, and trendy. If you just bite down on your Oreos, you're believed to be easygoing, optimistic, and self-confident. It's hard to believe that those facts can be discovered just from eating a snack. But it's certainly interesting to dive into the specifics of such a study. Who knows? Maybe how you eat Oreos is linked to your personality more than you may think.
Gryffindor!
The double stuff Oreos are not actually double stuffed.
Oh, these cookies!
When you think of double stuffed Oreos and comparing them to regular Oreos, you'd believe that there's exactly double the amount of cream in the former than the latter. That's why they're called double stuffed Oreos. There's double the stuffing in between the wafers. It only makes sense. And Nabisco swears that this is true. But in March of 2013, a high school math class decided to find out if they were actually telling the truth. They compared regular Oreos to double stuffed Oreos in terms of the cookies to cream ratio. What they found was shocking to say the least.
I have weapons of math instruction.
As it turns out, double-stuffed Oreos contain only 1.86 times more cream than their regular counterparts. When Business Insider replicated the experiment later that August, they also found that double-stuffed Oreos don't contain double the cream as promised. In response to the high school students' experiment, Nabisco refused to believe their findings. They continued to insist both then and now that Oreo double stuff contains exactly double the filling. While it's admittedly amusing to see a company insist such a thing in the face of evidence suggesting otherwise, to say that it's uninteresting would be a complete lie. It's more than a little fascinating, to say the least.
Put that cookie down! Now!
Oreo wafers can either be dark brown or black.
People think there's one reality, but there's loads of them all snaking off like roots.
If there's one debate that's as heated as the origins of Oreo's name, it's about the color of the wafer cookies. Some people believe that they're black. Others are convinced that they're dark brown. Like the previous question, this one isn't necessarily important to answer in the grand scheme of things. Having said that, many people still want an answer to this burning question. What color are the wafers? According to the Oreos FAQ from Mondelez International, there's no color assigned to the cookie portion of Oreos. They went on to explain, some people think the Oreo is a shade of brown, while others view the color closer to black.
Your judgment is askew.
This means that, as far as Nabisco is concerned, the wafers can be either color. This answer may annoy some who feel strongly one way or another about the color of Oreo wafers. But if you don't have a strong opinion on the matter, or you simply just don't care about this particular matter, then you can easily accept the company's answer. Regardless of which side of the fence you land on here, this is one debate in particular that may continue to rage on despite the company's official response.
Stand down, Mr. Slade.
I'm not finished!
Oreos are kosher.
Eat, your skin and bones!
For years, one of the ingredients in Oreos was pig lard. This made them non-kosher, meaning that those who eat kosher foods could not eat Oreos whatsoever. But eventually, Nabisco decided to change the recipe. Why is that so? Well, according to a Cornell University article from 2008, Oreos booted pig lard from their ingredient list back in 1997 in favor of vegetable oil. It took over 3.5 years before Nabisco products were declared kosher, but they did it. That included Oreos, which allows the cream-filled cookies to be certified kosher too. While some kosher food experts disagree, the majority of experts on the subject agree that Oreos and other products owned by Nabisco follow kosher dietary regulations.
I love the black and white. Two races of flavor living side by side in harmony.
So if you're eating kosher, be it for religious reasons or something else, then you may be happy to hear that Oreos are a viable option for a sweet, tasty snack. So many people love to chow down on them, in large part to the winning combination of dark wafer cookies and a white cream-filled center. It's no wonder that Oreos have been around for well over 100 years. Making Nabisco products kosher was an expensive, lengthy project that could have proven to be unnecessary to undertake. But it seems as though it was worth it, as Oreos continue to be going strong to this day.
Halloween ones are the best.
Yeah.
How do you eat your Oreo cookies? Let us know in the comments below, and stick around to check out our other great videos. And if you're new to our channel, then show us some love by hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell.